Oh, what a wonderful world that we are in. Oh, what a beautiful day that we have again today. What a beautiful day we have. What an opportunity to do what we need to do again. It's another day to take you through headlines making rounds in the national dailies this morning on your darling program, Press Drive, a newspaper review program right here on I-FLIER 103.3 FM Ibadan. Yes, it's the perfect choice station for you, the high flyers. And remember, it's the first edutainment radio station in Nigeria. As usual, I have the Punch, the Nation, and the Daily Post newspapers. We'll start with the headlines before we move to details of the stories we want to look at this morning. I'm live on our Facebook page. You can watch us live right there. You can also drop a comment if you want to react to one of the stories this morning at I-FLIER 103.3 FM. That's our Facebook handle at I-FLIER 103.3 FM. You can also call the studio lines, which I'll open when it's time. Yes, our analyst will be joining me right here on Press Drive. And I'm your driver this morning. Esther Atilola is my name. Yes, without wasting time, let's just delve into the headlines of the newspapers with me this morning. I have the Punch and the Nation and the Daily Post newspapers. I'll start with the headlines of the Punch newspaper. Kebbi school kidnap, survivors relieve night of horror. Kebbi school kidnap, survivors relieve night of horror. Reps probe foreign interest in Edo Museum. Still on the Punch newspaper this morning, Ondo PDP members, transport unionists join APC. Ondo PDP members, transport unionists join APC. Kefas postpones defection to APC over Kebbi kidnap. Kefas postpones the defection to APC over Kebbi kidnap. Oyo urges secular road protesters to embrace dialogue. Oyo urges Naira 2026 budget to Assembly. Sanwo-Olu to present 4.2 trillion Naira 2026 budget to Assembly. IPOB's lawyer backs Wike's expulsion from PDP. IPOB's lawyer backs Wike's expulsion from PDP. DSS cleared ambassadorial listening. Why Imo PDP members should ignore structure. Why Imo PDP members should ignore structure's dissolution. Why Imo PDP members should ignore structure's dissolution. Tinubu heads to South Africa and Angola for G20 AU summits. Tinubu heads to South Africa, Angola for G20 AU summit. And finally, on the Punch newspaper this morning, police brutality victims tells OT to pay panel approved compensation. Police to pay panel approved compensation. Police brutality victims warning. Tinubu Akume more Newswatch co-founder Agbise. Tinubu Akume more Newswatch co-founder Agbise. ASU wants of nationwide varsity shut down. ASU wants of nationwide varsity shut down. Senate halt consideration of Cocoa Management Board bill after Tinubu's request. Senate halts consideration of Cocoa Management Board bill after Tinubu's request. Finally, on the Nation newspaper this morning, I'm seeing two headlines. 1.2 trillion Naira Agric intervention probe. Reps threaten arrest of BOAMD, ARC and DG. 1.2 trillion Naira Agric intervention probe. Reps threaten arrest of BOAMD, ARC and DG. And finally, on the Nation newspaper, Reps move to block billion-dollar oil revenue leakages. Reps move to block billion-dollar oil revenue leakages. I'm seeing see some other interesting headlines on the Daily Post newspaper. Some of them, actually, we're going to take some of them on Press Drive this morning. And on the Daily Post newspaper, the politics segment, reckless, shameless, unpatriotic, APC blasts PDP for seeking foreign help. Reckless, shameless, unpatriotic, APC blasts PDP for seeking foreign help. PDP sends message to Nigerians after attack on National Secretariat. PDP sends message to Nigerians after attack on National Secretariat. It's like most of the headlines right here involves PDP. Governor Alia mocks autumn after Turaki-led PDP chased him from Secretariat in viral video. Governor Alia's aide mocks autumn after Turaki-led PDP chased him from Secretariat in viral video. ADC condemns attack on PDP headquarters, says democracy is under threat. ADC condemns attack on PDP headquarters, says democracy is under threat. Finally, on the politics section of the Daily Post newspaper, Turaki-led PDP regains control of party secretariat after police tear gassed 2 serving governors. Thank you very much for staying with us up until this point. It's time to move to details of the stories we want to look at this morning. And of course, it's time to bring in our analyst on Press Drive this morning, Honorable Femi DBC. It's a pleasure to have you on Press Drive this morning.
Oh, thank you for welcoming me to your palace, Queen Esther. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Good morning, Nigerians. This is another beautiful morning.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right, you can be a part of the conversation on Press Drive. You can call the studio lines, which I'll open when it's time. On Facebook, you can watch us live at I-FLIER 103.3 FM live. Like, share, follow us, and do react to the stories this morning. Thank you very much. We're going to be starting with some very hot stories this morning. I'll start with Kebbi school kidnap, and then I will move on to PDP. So I have a couple of stories as regards Kebbi school kidnap. Survivors relive night of horror. Survivors of the violent Monday attack on the Government Girls Comprehensive Senior Secondary School, MAGA, in the Danko Wasagu local government area of Kebbi State have recounted the horror of the incident, during which the vice principal, Asan Makuku, was killed and 25 female students abducted by bandits. The incident, which occurred around 3 a.m., has thrown the entire community into mourning as distraught parents, teachers, and residents struggled to come to terms with the whereabouts of the missing girls. However, security agents, including the Nigerian Police Force and the military, have since launched an intensive search and rescue operation to track the perpetrators and recover the missing students. Now, during the visit to the school on Tuesday, parents and eyewitnesses narrated harrowing details of how the bandit operated for over an hour without resistance before fleeing into the forest with the abducted children. And the incident is reminiscent of the April 2014 abduction of over 200 Chibok girls from the Federal Government College, Benin Yari, in 2021. And of course, there's so many other parts of the story, different angles. Past incidents are also looked at. Now, let's put 2 other stories with this particular one, still talking about Kebbi's school abduction. Kefas postpones defection to APC over Kebbi kidnap. Taraba State Governor Dr. Agbo Kefas on Tuesday announced the postponement of a ceremonial defection to the All Progressives Congress following the abduction of schoolgirls in Kebbi State. Kefas, in a signed statement, said that it would be insensitive to security tragedy. In another statement by its National Publicity Secretary, Felix Moka, the APC postponed Kefas's reception to a new date that will be announced later. Now, let me add this particular story to round off with the Kebbi story. Kebbi kidnap, Senate orders probe as Safe School Initiative gobs 144.7 billion naira. The Senate on Tuesday intensified pressure on the federal government to overhaul Nigeria's security architecture, urging President Bola Tinubu to immediately approve the recruitment of 100,000 fresh military personnel to confront insurgency, banditry, and the rising wave of school abductions across the country. Lawmakers also demanded a full investigation was spent despite repeated attacks on educational institutions, and their concerns were provoked by the deadly raid on Government Girls' School in Kebbi State, where gunmen killed the vice principal and reportedly abducted 25 students. Okay, the debate followed additional prayers raised by Senator Adams Oshamole during plenary, which triggered a heated session on Nigeria's worsening security situation. So, Kebbi kidnap. Senate orders probe as Safe School Initiative gobs 144.7 billion naira. Kefas postpones defection to APC over Kebbi kidnap. And Kebbi school kidnap, survivors relive night of horror. Let's start with the stories.
Yeah, well, thank you, Esther. It is so disgusting, so devastating to witness all this, even despite the purported intervention of the United States in security issues in Nigeria. Not just the killing of students and teachers in Kebbi, as well as abduction of the students. You remember that even our generals and soldiers were killed. Not only that, yesterday another one happened in the north. Another one happened at Eruku. I know Eruku very well. It's a Christian community, largely dominated by Christian in Kwara State. You know, so you have Equas and some other churches there. So I know that place very well.
Yes.
Yes. People were killed and adopted. So it's like you are now having a renewed resurgence of kidnapping and killing in Nigeria. What is happening? What is going on?
By bandits.
Yes. But yet, our president is not seeking help. I don't know what is being done underneath in terms of external support. But I think we need one now. I have been saying that it is, if we are going against the bandits or terrorists, you have to go in full. You have to, if you want to kill, you have to kill totally. You have to quash totally. But if you want to go for non-kinetic issue, yes, all of us must be involved. Let's talk about it. So if relationship is possible between the north and the south, let's get to know. If it's not possible, let us have a new arrangement. After all, we were together and happier together in the First Republic. So if we can't revert to such, if you are interested in breaking it, let us quickly break, rather than getting the people killed all the time. I'm sorry for saying it, because I'm just so fed up, because God hates the death of little children especially, and the defenseless. I see soldiers. They expected the president to even declare a day of mourning for that general, because if you kill a general just unceremoniously, you know what happened at Okuaga? A whole town has to go for it. Even till now, they are kings and whatever, they are still in military custody, even illegally, as you are speaking. So no, our flag is not flown at half-mast as a result of the killing of that particular general in the army. A general in the army, for that matter. And nothing's happening. And our president is going for a less important meeting as at this time, compared to what is happening at home. Well, of course, if it were to be UNGA, United Nations General Assembly, I would say, okay, that is okay. You have the opportunity to talk about that. So, about the event in Nigeria.
It could also.
I was listening to Professor Bolaji Akinyemi on Arise Television recently, I think yesterday. He was talking about how Jonathan secretly invited the Americans, and the Americans, and when the Chibok girl issue happened, said, this is a simple issue. You don't need to even you don't need to fire a bullet. Don't waste your energy. So by tomorrow, let's go there. I mean, let's spray some gas and they'll slip off and we'll rescue the girl. That is all. Yeah. But Papola Jagnyame said that, you know, the information just got to the terrorists, and the people externally took helicopters there and delivered gas masks. So the Americans just went away just like that. So we are just an unserious nation when it comes to the management of insecurity in this country, forgetting that it is the life of these people, of human being, life of citizen, of whom they, you know, vowed to secure. We are partners to what we call Responsibility to Protect Act of 2005 of the United Nations. What happened to that? So in what way are we protecting our citizens? Yet you see our people fighting for politics, fighting for position, fighting for money, stealing money with impunity. You know, on the floor of the House, you know, Rochelle Money and the rest, they are now saying, okay, it is time to stop multi-billion-dollar stealing in the industry. So then we want to ask, what is our president, who double as the Minister of Petroleum, what is he presiding on? Fraud. You know, it's killing. For every money you steal, people are being killed consequently. People are being disarmed consequently. Family are being destroyed consequently. You know, infrastructure suffers for it. So, you know, I don't know what is happening in the country. I think for now, for once, I think we need to get serious about it. In fact, I think it's a fine day to cry for this country. A fine day. So I think all of us need adequate understanding of what truly Nigeria means. We need adequate understanding of who owns the land. We need adequate understanding of ourselves too. Are we truly standing up for the country or standing for ourselves? So, you know, let's get to know. If Nigeria is worth fighting for, let's fight for it. And if it's not, yes, of course, let's do something in the alternative. I think enough is enough in the country.
All right.
You know, I'm tired of people's blood being spilled with impunity, and nothing is being done. The president just gave an order, said yes. I mean, something. And what is happening? Wait, this is the second day. If I'm in a serious country, and not only, as somebody mentioned in your report that we have to, you know, recruit more soldiers.
Yes,
don't forget
100,000 military personnel.
Don't forget that only 6 soldiers went to Iraq to gun down Saddam Hussein. Only six American soldiers. In fact, in most cases, not always more than 6. How many of Israeli soldiers went to Entebbe? 4 to 5 minutes operation. You know, I mean, they rescued, you know, the hostages except one in the hospital. So it's not about the quantum of soldiers that you have. It's about the quality, and it's about the political will to do it. That's what matters a lot. Does our president have the political will? Is his personal selfish political ambition not overtaken the national interest? Oh, I think something in the definition in this country.
What of the Safe School initiative that has got 144.7
Look, let me tell you something. Nobody will be safe. Well, okay, now let me tell you something. Beginning with, right from the time of the campaign, in Chatham House, they asked our president to be then, what's your program when it comes to insecurity? He said every will talk about it. Okay. Now, when we constitute our cabinet, Ribadu happened to be a policeman with lesser knowledge of what to call security. Well, if it were to be homeland something, maybe inspector of course I will recommend Elrufa. I don't think a general will want to bow down and give report to Ribadu. So there's no sliding. Number 2, go and check out the Minister of State for Defense. No knowledge, no pedigree when it comes to security issues. Go and check the Minister of State, Matawale. In fact, his dossier is so flimsy and just like ordinary paper. Go and check it out. People without pedigree, without knowledge of defense, anything that also is, they have nothing to do with it. Never engaged, either locally or internationally, when it comes to security. Beginning with the National Security Advisor, down to the Minister of Defense, down to the Minister of State for Defense. None of them is what they sought. Nobody is what they challenge. And the president has not changed any one of them till as we are speaking. So it means that we care less about it. So it's not about changing the statement of the president on this issue of Kebi killing was he also indicted the new chief of defense staff. He said, despite the fact that there is a knowledge that this is going to happen, those people, they will even tell you when they want to strike. So yet all this happened. Well, go ahead and make sure that those people, no, you see, it doesn't happen that way. And meanwhile, don't forget that that gentleman told us that, look, the work you are making us to do, most of them belong to the police. So it's not their battle on a serious note. American fought the Vietnam in the guerrilla warfare as strong as American have militarily and are now. So they did not conquer. So it's all about us. It's all Kalu saying that, you know, what are the governors doing? What can they do? Do they get police? Do they get military men? Even when they wanted to even establish Amateku, do you know what it took? If it's not Akeredolu, what do they have? You know, there was a time when in Oyo town here, when they took one Fulani Maruda that gunned down somebody, they took him to the police station. Rather than arresting the Fulani man, they gunned down they shot, the military himself shot the Amateku guy. So what do you think the governor can do? They are powerless. Are they not tear gassing your governors in Abuja yesterday? Did they not do that? So what power do they have? So every power when it comes to security is vested on the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, and of course the earlier I'm not talking of the military. I think the earlier we get state police, the better. But we are paying lip service to that. I told somebody, I said we are not going to get it. It's just a kind of a kind of cajole to believing that the president is saying, is doing something about it, but it's not going to do anything. How about the local government fund? Nothing. It's just paper talk. So, it's a serious crisis in the land.
Thank you very much. Let's go on a quick break. When we'll come back, we'll check out a particular story as regards President Tinubu before we go to PDP story. Please stay with us.
An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. It is imperative that parents prioritize education for the growth and future of their children by enrolling them to
accommodating reception, well-equipped laboratory for biology, physics and chemistry, fully furnished classrooms, counseling rooms, e-library, halls for conferences, institutions, standby generator, mini-mart, among others.
Yes!
I-FLIER International School
can boast of inspiring, captivating curriculum, academic excellence, social amenities and structures, as well as dedicated teachers who are more than ready to train your children academically and morally.
Admission is ongoing. Enroll your child to a primary and secondary classes today and enjoy the dividends of modern and quality education.
Join the high-flying team and visit us today at Unit 1 to 5, I-FLIER College Road, Ogungbade, Ibadan. For further inquiry, call 0815-815-8707
or 0805-331-6634. I-FLIER International School.
Nurturing I-FLIERs.
We appreciate you for staying with us. Thank you very much. All right, let's move to this particular one. President Tinubu gets DSS cleared ambassadorial list. President Bola Tinubu has received a fresh list of ambassador designate and is weighing them to transmit it to the Senate. Multiple presidency sources have confirmed to the Punch. Top officials familiar with the process said all security and background checks on nominees have been completed, awaiting only the president's nod before being transmitted to the Red Chamber for screening. The sources spoke on condition of anonymity as they were not authorized to comment publicly. I'm quoting them now. One of the senior officials, he said, "The list is ready. It's ready. It is now with the president and it's up to him. All those security checks, they are done with, but he has not mentioned when he wants to send it to the Senate." Another source explained that when the president finally moves, the appointment will be staggered, with envoys to major partner countries announced first, while others will follow later. The headline says Tinubu gets DSS cleared ambassadorial list.
Oh, well, yes. I think it's another, cheering news anyway. Because in the last 2 years, or more than that, we've been without ambassadors. It's so funny, it has never happened to us. And I don't know. So, and the world is a global village. We need them to let us know which opportunity, we can tap, so that at least, we are at better trade advantage. So, what are the opportunities in this country that we can benefit from? So a whole lot of things in terms of intelligence, a whole lot of things, but of course we don't have. The worst of the case is that we don't have a permanent representative in the United Nations. And of course you'll be asking, oh, Zimbabwe not simply. And meanwhile the position being occupied by our exalted woman, the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, Aminat Mohammed. Yes, he's supposed to be neutral. It's not to talk for Nigeria. So we need somebody there. So we don't have. To worsen the case, our president has been attending the United Nations General Assembly by proxy, not by himself. So I don't know what we are doing with it, but of course we can attend where we can get money. G20, AU summit, all these COP 30, COP whatever. All those.
But then you don't think that we can also present our case as regards insecurity in this summit?
Well, no, more or less, they deal with economy in that regard, not issue of security. Okay, look at it. Why do you think people, normally refer to America and not the United Nations these days? Where the United Nations as a body is failing, America is succeeding. They are more active. UN has been heavily politicized. So to take position and go into action is always difficult. But of course, America has been doing that. So you can see the reason why, if there's any problem anywhere, somebody want to talk to the American president. So, I think, it's not sufficient that we have those people cleared. But who are those people? Do they fit in? Are they misfit? Are we talking of people like Femi Fanika and all those stuff? We are talking of people that are diplomatic, not people that are edgy, not people that are, So it also depends on the quality of people. So if you don't have enough money to manage those, you can manage 2 or 3 together so that one ambassador can cover. In fact, you need to know the quantum of money that Nigeria owes the people that are working in our embassies. Our foreign missions, we owe them. Some of them are not operational. Some of them are locked up. So you don't run a country like that. Not a country as big as Nigeria. In fact, when you are talking of Africa, Nigeria in most cases, you are talking of Africa. So, but what image are we presenting? So I think on the diplomatic stage, I think we are not been faring well at all under this administration. So I think the president needs to look into that. So groups of people, in fact, career diplomat in most cases, not people that are going to be selected based on political patronage and compensation. We will spend one day in their base and 5 days here in Nigeria because of politics. So we want to appoint ambassadors, get people with diplomatic experience, get people that with power of negotiation. So those are the set of people, not your girlfriend, not people that you can bring one, no, you Emma, bring one, that one bring one. So it's not like that. It doesn't show seriousness. So we should be serious about the country.
Thank you very much. Let's come to the PDP stories. Right here we have a couple of them. I might take headlines for some and then read the stories for some others. Let's start with this headline. High stakes face off. PDP governors resist Wike's secretariat takeover. It was another turbulent day for the People's Democratic Party on Tuesday as Wadata Plaza, the party's national secretariat, became the center of chaos, factional power play, and intensified scheming by rival blocs seeking control of the party. The crisis followed the release of 2 separate notices for National Executive Committee meetings on Monday, one issued by the expelled National Secretary, Senator Sam Anyanwu, and another by the newly elected National Chairman, Tanimu Turaki. With both camps insisting on legitimacy, tensions escalated ahead of Tuesday's NEC meeting. By 8:40 a.m., Anyanwu arrived at the Secretariat with supporters chanting anti-Turaki songs. Police personnel stationed around the premises struggled to control movement as the crowd surged. Shortly after, Turaki and members of the National Working Committee elected at the disputed Ibadan Convention arrived and proceeded to the NEC hall for the emergency meeting he had announced. In what appeared to be a coordinated move, Governors Sheyi Makinde and Bala Mohammed, key supporters of Turaki's NWC, arrived in a convoy. The two initially stepped out of Bala's official sports utility vehicle, then returned to the vehicle to monitor the situation as it unfolded. A little after noon, the FCT minister, Isonwike, arrived with security personnel and remained in his vehicle, apparently anticipating the actions of Makinde and Bala. Concerned by the standoff, the FCT Commissioner of Police approached, saying, "We are not living here. What is Wike doing here? His presence at the PDP headquarters is illegal. If he's not leaving, we are not leaving either." Eventually, the leaders found their way to the secretariat. Wike met with his loyalists, including Ayawu and the likes, while Makinde and Bala entered the neck hall after a brief confrontation with police officers to join Turaki. And FCT minister left the place at past 2. Bala and Makinde left 2:45. But then, the controversy came after the PDP suspended Ayawu Factional Action Chairman Mohammed Abdurrahman, the legal advisor Kamaldeen Ajibade and others, and then the suspension arose over the controversy surrounding the elective convention scheduled to be held in Ibadan. And then the back and forth as regards the whole situation and all of that. Turaki at the meeting talked, he spoke and then lamented about the party's turmoil, blamed Wike for the unrest, and everything goes on and on that way. But then let me put all of these other headlines together so you can address it together. Let's come to the Daily Post newspaper. PDP sends message to Nigerians after attack on National Secretariat. And they went on to say that the elections, saying that many Nigerians cheered when Turaki arrived for the first official meeting of the new NWC, and that story goes on and on. Let's put this other one too with it. Governor Alia's aide mocks Otto after Turaki-led PDP chased him from Secretariat in viral video. ADC condemns attack on PDP headquarters, says democracy is under threat. And finally, Turaki-led PDP regains control of party secretariat after police tear-gassed two serving governors. So let's put all of this together. It's actually a long way.
Well, it's a devastating political satire, and with garnished criminal lunacy.
Garnished criminal lunacy.
Yeah, insanity. And it's bad enough for our democracy. Bad enough. One, let me just begin from the call for the intervention of the United States in Nigerian democracy by the PDP chairman. Yeah, I think it's bad enough anyway. But of course, it is almost becoming a child of necessity. I do mean that we have a country where institutions are working. You will rest on the police. So you can't rest on the police. You can't rest on the judiciary. You can't rest on the executive. For justice, for things to be done, sanitarily. But once you can't get that, then of course you want to look elsewhere. And the only place they can look at immediately is the chief promoter of democracy in the world, the United States. In fact, the United States can condone on a lighter note even cases of genocide. But they won't toy at all with anything that has to do with anything that will distort democracy. They in fact, I don't know what they cannot do. And that's why you see that even from the State House, Bayonenuga has to issue a statement that look, why are you inviting America? It's bad enough. No, they will shout because they know the implication that America doesn't take anything that has to be, that constitutes threats to democracy. They don't take it lightly. In fact, you know the amount of money they spend every, even in Nigeria here, promoting democracy. Do you know the amount of money in terms of education, in terms of this, in terms of that, logistics, and all those stuff?
But then APC is blasting PDP, saying that you're seeking foreign help is reckless, shameless, or patriotic.
Oh yeah, that is it. Because they know the implication of inviting America into this. Now already we are battling the issue of genocide. And we are just in between the web. In fact, I think yesterday the American representative at the United Nations said that yes, what is happening in Nigeria is a case of genocide against the Christians. So, and once that is maintained, it has a kind of diplomatic implication. So, meaning that you have no hiding place as talking that. That's one. Two, you are talking about, political genocide again. So, they won't condone all those two. So, it's like every day they keep, they keep waking the sleeping lion. So, that is one. And second, you say, Wike is gradually becoming an irritant to this administration. At a point, what's the name of this man? Okay, don't let me just mention his name.
Okay.
He interviewed Mr. President concerning Wike.
Okay.
Yeah, and he said, well, he said, Mr. President, I'm talking of, let me mention Ruby Abati.
Okay.
So he said, in recent times, Nigeria have been crying out that Wike has been grabbing land, demolishing people's buildings, and acting beyond his power. So he now asking Mr. President, are you concerned that Wike is becoming a political liability to you? And hear the response of Mr. President. Mr. President said, Wike is a good man. Wike is a performing minister. Nigeria lack compliance. Period. So we don't pay our ground rent on time. Yeah, Wike will deal with you. So we don't categorize things properly, and we see compliance as an what you call inconvenience. So I doff my cap for Wike. That's what the president
we're expecting
said.
a different response.
Meaning that Wike is that strong and important because he's having a backup somewhere. Now in this case, in fact, it's the worst. In fact, he knew the implication and he has to leave that place unceremoniously yesterday. Well, let me just go back to what Wike said about Makinde to make this, my analysis so beautiful. In the their G5 or whatever the group they call themselves. So in fact, he exposed the fact that Makinde has been the chief strategist. Wike was the voice and the one bankrolling. But when it comes to strategy, he said, "Is this Makinde?" It was Makinde. In fact, at a point, he said that I want to expose this gentleman that looks so gentle to you. So that is not gentle. In fact, he said that the fear of Makinde is the beginning of my wisdom. Yes, Makinde being aghast and others, he was not intimidated. But of course, hear what he said when he was interviewed yesterday. He said, the interviewer, that young lady said, okay, after all, you and Wike, you happen to be friends. I said, yes, this is not a personal issue, it's all about issues. It's not personal, it's all about national issues. Somebody somewhere is saying that, we should move towards what we call one party state so that our party don't get a presidential candidate, so we adopt. And we are saying that is not okay for Nigeria, it's not okay for democracy. There should be competition. So you can see the difference between the two. And you can see the way and manner, the Wike and his group, how they took over, how they ejected Wike. Lady Olayenka was watching him helplessly yesterday. Only got helping from being slapped yesterday. So I was watching how Houghton was rough-handed and thrown out of the place yesterday. Yes, and I was watching how the Makinde and his group took over that place yesterday. I dropped my cap for him. It's not all about. But the worst part of the case was the role played by the police. I thought that a day to that event, there would have been an announced democracy. But of course, rather than doing that, the police commissioner in FCT escorted Wike and gave them protection, which is against the Electoral Act.
I was even saying that in the video, there was also a face-off between policemen.
It was the police that was even fighting for the Wike group. That was the worst thing. And let me just read to you, what the law says about it, especially things that has to do with.
All right, very quickly, so
yes,
we can go on another break.
Now, so you see, it said that the Nigerian police force is constitutionally mandated to maintain public order, protect lives and property, and enforce laws. This includes ensuring peace during political meetings, rallies, and elections. However, by law, the police are expected to be neutral and impartial and favoring political party or not favoring political party or candidate. Their role is to provide security only. So they did not do that. They were just on a particular side. So I remember at a kind of infraction between Adedubu and Adeojo at Premier Hotel. The police were there, but they were merely looking. They were looking at Adeojo being almost naked. But they couldn't do anything because it's all about politics, and that is that. Even go to the floor of the house, you can beat one another. The police have no right to go there and say, "What are you doing there?" So that's the beauty, because politics is all about, sometimes it's all about negotiation, it's all about interest, it's all about war, it's all about business and all that. So what happens between them is their business. So what are they doing? But of course, I think maybe Wike received a call somewhere, or maybe something happened, but he has to zoom out of the venue unceremoniously yesterday. And I learned that before the end of yesterday, Mr. President gave a call and sent an emissary to Makinde and his group in his hotel, because they know the implication, especially inviting America, that democracy is being threatened. They don't want to hear that language, and you can see the reason why by Ononuga also issued a press statement immediately condemning the action. That now you don't need to go that far. Right. We need to solve our problem here. But which problem are we solving when we are the one creating problem? So I think it's bad enough. Thank
you very much, Honorable Fema DBC. Let's go on breaks right now. We'll come back to take your reactions, our dear listeners, both on Facebook and via calls. Thank you very much.
Have you heard about Panding Hotels and Event Place? The Panding Hotels and Events Place is your spot for relaxation and entertainment, featuring an exquisite bar where a collection of tasteful drinks and cocktails are served. Enjoy your meals at the lounge restaurant with a menu of piping hot delicious dishes. Take advantage of the magnificent lodge for comfort, equipped with modern facilities including 24-hour power supply and Wi-Fi connection. It also has an event hall to host an array of events from birthdays, wedding ceremonies and anniversaries. Need more fun? Panding Nightclub opens every Saturday at 11 p.m. with maximum security guarantee. Panding Event and Hotel Place is located at number 33B, Jinarere Ishebo Alakia. Contact us via email at info@pandinghotels.com, on Instagram at Panding Hotels. Call us on 0705 442 2968. Panding Hotels and Event Place, the perfect relaxation spot.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The general public is hereby advised to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Verify the licensing status of such schemes on this website: www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nicom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng, www.fsrcc.gov.ng. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call CBN 0817-665-7060, SEC 0209-462-1168, 0916-772-3240. Announcer, FSRCC.
Thank you so much for staying with us. Let's open the phone lines at this point and take your reactions also on our Facebook page. 0705 500 1033, 091 6000 1033, 0705 500 1033, 091 6000 1033, on our Facebook page at I-FLIER 103.3 FM Live. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
I'm Steve Atilola. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. Yeah.
Very quickly, sir.
Yeah. The issue of another attack or abduction in Kebbi is too bad. Can or remove the sports or remove the scale of leopard is not. When they put people that are not responsible, that are not intelligent for a position, what can you get from that? You cannot get anything from that. We see that Amali, where did we get his training? To be a defender, to be a defense minister, or the minister of defense. That's about that one. You need to put a line with pay in the hole. That's about that one. The issue of the people that have been taken away, long, I think they were not having blood in their faith. No, we having people call a leader, and people, the other people want to come into this president trip to Angola and South Africa for AU summit. If I'm the Mr. President, I will share my traveling as a mark of condolence to the relative of Kirby's children that was abducted. Because the issue of insecurity, kidnapping in Nigeria, is a source of concern. Mr. President should have a feeling. Although he has sent his vice president to that place, but as a number one man, he should stay at home. There's a lot of work on Mr. President's table. Instead of traveling here and there, he should sit down and solve this issue. Secondly, on the issue of factional PDP that are calling for US to come and invade Nigeria, it is not shameful, reckless and unpatriotic. So any cyber issue, we call on Trump. Issue were political immature. You have been giving political intelligence, but yes, you are still immature. Have a nice working day.
Thank you very much. You also have a nice day, Mr. Caleb. Appreciate you.
And of course, we are not politically mature. That's the bitter truth.
All right. Hello. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
I'm great the analyst. I'm very good.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
You're welcome, sir.
I really enjoyed.
All right, sir.
Hello.
We can hear you. Please go ahead.
I said I really enjoyed your analysis this morning.
Thank you, sir.
Because you came out bluntly and truthfully. If our leaders have dared to hear what you have said. But the question I want to ask her, is there anything for this entity called Nigeria? A country where we know the truth and we are running away from it? A country where our leaders know the right thing to do and they are shying away from it? A country where our political leaders have become Gambasi of the old, beating themselves and everything they are getting the land. Is there any hope for this country, sir?
Well, there's hope. There's hope. We are only pretending, but by the time we wake up, it's only the leaders that will wake up to face the truth. And with the masses, we live to enjoy the benefit of the consequences of the actions of these people. Because there's nothing they are doing that will not get its consequences.
All right. Back on Facebook, we have this from Aroni Yahaya. I have this from Rahim Taiwo says, Taye from Ekpe, good morning, sir. Keep it up. Thank you very much. From Tawa Jao says, good morning. Olaumi Okparede says, well done, more wisdom. Thank you. Olatude Alex says, great job. Olayemi Samuel says, good morning. God bless you. Keep the good work. All right. Thank you very much. Hello. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. Very quickly.
Yes, my honorable, good morning, sir.
Good morning, my pastor. How are you, sir?
Fine, sir. Pastor, I'm going to speak from Malakia.
You're welcome, sir.